By the way, you're saying,
Yes, I give thanks for life, you know it, guy already.
serious thing. We are here again, Baldhead and the Dread. Please apologize. I got one little cough vibe we're dealing with, so we just make it work. I want to cough up the people here. Are we here reasoning? Do remember, make sure you check out the Brethren EP there, Disrupting the Status Quo music video there in the description. Also, we will give you the date for the live streaming. What else is there? Make sure you check us out. I Never Knew Radio. Conscious Tea, we are restocked on Nyahbinghi. Make us see higher. Nyahbinghi t-shirts. If you didn't get one, make sure you get one there at conscioustea.com. The link there is also in the description. Fire, what we're reasoning about today?
Yeah, well, we are reasoning about, and if America, I feel like it even broader than America, you know. Right now, the world has I've kind of become like a whole vibes where a lot of people have become quiet quitters right now. I will really need to talk about this because I feel like say the quitters them now got to talk about themselves. So we have to highlight it. So once can even come and improving in the situation. So I would go beyond saying America becoming a nation of quiet quitters, and I said like right over the world right now become a place of quiet quitters. It become the culture, yeah, right across the world, yeah.
Yeah, and with the quiet quitters, I've heard about it. So from what I was, I think it's whether Instagram or TikTok, I guess a person, it went viral on one of those platforms, and a lot of people use it. But if we do kind of not even study, fight, we don't got we don't get all technical about studying societies. But if you just observe in person, you notice like quiet quitters have always existed. It's not necessarily a new aspect of the culture of the workforce. I guess they put a terminology, and you know how that goes already, right? But I believe the quiet quitters and the acceptance of overweight people go in the same vein. And reason I'll say is this: I think there are two aspects of quiet quitters. Yes, you have people who have jobs that are just terrible jobs, right? For whatever reason. The job is a dead end job, or the job is not a challenging job, or they're being mistreated at the job. But you have the other aspect I want to speak about in regards to, it seems like it's a thing of celebrating mediocrity and celebrating a culture where you're not dedicated to anything. There's a Japanese word, I had to write it down. I don't know how to speak Japanese. It says shokunin, I believe shokunin or something, but it's basically referring to someone being, I remember reading the word in a text, that's why I look it up. It's referred to someone, an artisan, being very dedicated to their craft. And what the quiet critter does, this is the thing. If you have a BS job, right, and I'll be the first one to tell you, you shouldn't let, the employer utilize all your energy and talents. But at the same token, I noticed the quiet quitters aren't using their energy in another aspect of their life. So the job that you have, you're doing in a mediocre level, but then you're not doing that to save energy to excel in a different area of your life. And I think that's where the issue is. And I think that's what people need to be more strategic to their approach and how they go about this thing. I have a job. I'm kind of coasting, doing the bare minimum, because that's the quiet quitter, right? You're doing the bare minimum, I guess, not to get fired. But what am I doing outside of work to improve a skill, work on a particular craft, work on a talent, or set myself up that I can transition out of this job? So I think that's where the distortion comes into play. And that's where I feel it's really a celebration of mediocrity. And it's a part of the culture where it's just like no one's dedicated to anything, and I guess this is just like a fan club of it. It's like people celebrating the fact that they're not dedicated to anything. They're not willing to work to anything. And yes, I know people will bring up wages and all these things, but there has to be a reality, a certain aspect. Some people, that's all you're able to earn at this point in your life based on your skill set and your work experience. Is that too harsh of a reality to accept? That's not an absolute wage, like you're stuck there for the rest of your life, but like you do have to go through phases, right? And I think that right now people no longer want to go through phases. They want to go where like you have to start somewhere. It is what it is. Like I had to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, but no one wants to start. And we could blame social media, but no one wants to start and like build up. And the next thing I know, far right, for you say something. What I've noticed with work, a lot of positions people crave for or yearn for, they're not qualified for. So that's the next vibe. They want these positions, they want these high paying positions, but they generally don't have the skill set to do it. And if they were to get the job, they want to do it efficiently because they just don't know what they're doing. So
But you know the funny part about this for all right. All right. First and foremost, make sure make it clear to based off of what I said to it show me something. Majority of people in the world basically be trained to be one dimensional. So because them trained to be one dimensional, plus the fact say them trained to find excuses in every single situation now that add up. It's come like being one dimensional plus finding excuses equal to being a quiet quitter. So that's the thing now, you know. So because the two of them things that add up now and then prone to being a quitter now, it's like them don't really know how to go over the top. So them really fall. It go on and with even the whole depression vibes to and anxiety. That's just like even anxiety upon the rise. I'm not saying it's not a normal thing for one certain people have anxiety attacking them. That's normal. I not put it down because you have that. But I tell you, say, a lot of these anxiety where you say are forced. A lot of these anxiety forced upon the people and based upon the mindset where them have now and them gone in that type of mood and then them become quitters after that now because oh my god, this particular task that I'm doing, it's above the usual that I expect. No, I'm just going to quit because right now this is giving me too much anxiety. So you see, them really is the excuses where them building at the thing now and it become a staple in them life. It literally become a part of them whole existence. And that now for the people them not really overstand right now. And then the next part pan top right now, or even worse, you see a lot of the positions them were there talk about where the people them are complaints that them want to get. So example say, them didn't even get these positions. I'm gonna be very, very frank and very real with that. Them couldn't manage these positions either. This should have made them even become more of a quitter because saying them want 100,000, them make 50,000 right now. Cool. Yeah, them are the subordinate in the workplace. The 100,000 make them become the executive. Just to make up figures. Make them become the executive. Now that's the executive as we keep on a talk, but them have got to do the thought leadership. They're not prone to doing thought leadership. They're just prone to doing whatever they're told to do. Now, that pressure would amount to be too much for them. And then them would have to go quit because remember, so now when you're at that particular level where you're supposed to get that particular paycheck there, every single thing will go wrong, a year ordinance or your court that fall in, because if I want to say, okay, people are report to you and them do something wrong, man, I gotta say, oh, you have people are report to you and them do these things. So you are gonna get the blame. And then now them would really the anxiety and them now the artificial anxiety creation, when we call it, would have start kick up again, and them now eventually would have start find some excuses and then quit on that particular level. So it's really a whole sequence of thing that take place there.
And far right, I just want to say that, and don't feel no way. We do acknowledge and we do have sympathy for anyone who truly deals with mental health, but we do have to acknowledge in our society, anxiety is trending fire. Anxiety and depression is trending right now. And that's the default for many people not to do anything because you're always going to have a level of stress and anxiety in your life. So the thing I don't understand with this anxiety and you just tapping out where you don't have to do anything or everybody's doing all this counseling. During this counseling, are people learning coping mechanisms to deal with anxiety, or is it just a situation where they're complaining and finding an excuse not to do anything? That's what I just would like to know. Because based on my observation and personal experience with people, it just seems like they go, they vent, they complain, but I don't really see any like improvement. It's like they're stuck, and like people love to talk about, everybody loves to talk about they're going to therapy, and therapy is needed. Don't get it twisted. But at the same time, I think you should grow out of therapy. I don't think you should be going to therapy for 20, 30 years. I think you should go for a period of time and you should get the tools that you need to thrive and move on. But it seems like a dependence thing, some little, I don't know. But I will say mental health is trending fire. The easiest way to get out of anything right now is to be overwhelmed, from a 2-year-old to the 40-year-old. But I want to jump back I wanted to jump back into this whole quiet quitting thing. Another aspect of it, and I think we may have, how things intertwine, interconnect. People just want to quit. People just want to quit. So a man gonna look at anything at any aspect. And I think for those with that mind frame who have been quitters throughout their life, because this quitting thing is it's a habit. You notice like you have some people that don't, they just they have that resilience, they have that grit, and you have others, they just have a consistent thing of giving up. They've given up on themselves. They're giving up on relationships. They're giving up on their goals. They're giving up. They just give up. That's their vibe. They give up. It gets to a certain point, they find some excuse why they don't want to do it, or they self-sabotage and do something to make sure that they're kicked out of whatever thing they have to do, or they don't have to. That's the next thing we have to do it too. Self-sabotage, especially amongst Black people. I think oppressed people in society or disenfranchised people in the society, uh, whether by race, economic, sex, or whatever, have a high level of self-sabotage because they're scared of separating themselves from their peers, and also they're scared of success. They're scared of going into a realm that's unfamiliar with them. They may say they want it, but they really don't want it, because when they get close to it, they'll do stuff to make sure that they don't get to it. For all those who are on jobs now, right? I wanted to mention this also, and I'm not, as I said, I want to keep reiterating this or repeating this because we know how people go. I am not saying if you had a job that's unhealthy, I question this fulfillment with work too. I think that's a new phenomenon and that's a totally different reasoning. But you should be providing a service to someone and take pride. I will say this. What's the term? I struggle saying this word, compartmentalize. Is that the proper term? How to say it? Compartmentalize. I don't think
Yeah.
you, yeah, I don't think you can you can't be mediocre in one aspect of your life and not mediocre in other aspects of your life. So I think that it becomes a burden on your actual soul if you're at a job where you're not giving your all. Because you as a human being have to put effort and pride in what do you do at all times. And when you don't, I think like internally, if you're a spiritual person, you're not a spirit, whatever it is, whatever is inside begins to rot. Because it's just like you're not giving your all. And like I don't know. I've just always been a person that really put my heart and soul into things, and it's worked for me. Even when, you are in positions you probably don't really like. It's just a habit of just putting your all into things, and it's just like, I don't know, like always trying to learn from different situations, always trying to get better at a particular craft. Because I will say this, man, like you'll be shocked how many skills can transfer over to other things. So even if you're in a position that you don't like, I'm pretty sure, 1,000% sure, there's a skill that you can develop that you can transfer to elsewhere when you move on. So I think we need to look at that when we're in certain positions that we're not pleased with. And also, we need to develop. I think we were reasoning about this earlier and it comes up again, but you need to develop your skills. I think it just shouldn't be sitting complaining, mad at the world, or trying to find an excuse not to partake, but you need to develop other skills outside of that job that you have to do because you have to earn to survive at this time. So you can transition quicker, or you could be in a position where you could be independent and you could generate money on your own, whether you're generating yourself or people are paying for your services. So I think that should be the mind frame. The quiet quitting thing is like a little club, like, oh, I don't like my job, I'm not gonna do anything, and I think it's not good. It's unhealthy. It's not beneficial. And if you are, I guess, quiet quitting and you're using that saved energy for other things that are beneficial to you, I think that's a very good strategy because you are providing, you sign a contract, you're to provide a service for a company that compensates you. But at the same time, you have enough at the end of the day where you can develop your other skills and work on other things to make you better, generate more money to help you transition. But if you're there not giving what you're supposed to give and you're not doing anything else outside of that, I think it's all wrong. I think it's all wrong. And also, you remember when I said this all right. You remember when I said this mental health thing is trending? This quiet quitting is also an example of ideas trending, right? And like people, you need to just stop like adopting ideas because it's like the cool thing to do at the time. You need to think about stuff. Because I remember I just heard this quiet quit. Yeah, you heard the quiet quit. You heard the quiet quit. You heard the quiet quit. And it's like once the idea is there, it's like a cancer. It just circulates amongst everyone, but people never think about it. I'm not saying all people, but majority of people don't think about it. They just regurgitating what they heard. Take time to think about the things that you're hearing. It's okay to think about things. And then decide to say this makes sense or it doesn't make sense. You just taking it, sharing it with the next person. All right, they thought quiet quitting was something new. People been you always got people at work that don't do nothing, bro. What's that? It's quiet quitting. They do the bare minimum. That's quiet. They already quit already, right? They just dare to collect their check and just try to get through. So what's the difference? You know, so
I just go to show the people them think of themselves to like when the people them think of themselves, say when the people them get a task, it's like what them think of themselves, right? So first them have me feel like the natural process will take place in our one brain, all right? Me have a task here. How me accomplish it? And majority of people, them no stop and meditate how them are gonna accomplish the task. When I think it become the natural process for the people them whenever I come to a task is all right. I get the task here. When my boss I gotta show me for it now. You see me I say, all my boss I gotta show me for do it now. Where the person who above me I gotta tell me for do it now. All right, you know, so I definitely can knock this off by 5 o'clock. No. Not automatically are gonna make you become a person who can accomplish anything. You realize that it's like a prison mindset. We are wait upon a guard for bring you around this, or wait upon a guard for take you out of your cellar or something. That is the type of mindset and the way how people process things right now when it comes to tasks. And then on top of that now, the same set of people them when even though them are wait upon being told what to do, them still suffer in a silence. So, for example, if the task, them no understand how to do what them being told to do, even when it's explained to them feel like they're asking or going above and beyond or seeking some other resources or somebody else who's an expert in a particular area. Them feel like that's too much, and if them go ask that thing, them are gonna seem dumb. But which one you think more stupid? You just quit a particular mission quietly. Are you asking and somebody look by you and say, oh, you don't know this? So it's a meditation of the people them now approach the situation right because them rather suffer in a silence. And then I think I'm attribute to it too. I probably feel like the excuses part I mentioned earlier. Me forget one particular thing is the complaining part about it now. So the same people them where they say suffer in a silence and are ready for quit. Yeah, quit just like that. You realize that the people them complain a lot. So I say, all the people them find so much energy for complain while them not really up to speed with the task that them supposed to do, and them don't overstand it to the level so them have to quit. But then I find out why. Because I find out so them have to reserve some of these talking points. Them have to reserve some of the reasoning where them would have figure complain. So it's like, yeah, me suffer in a silence over here. So but when time I go home, I go drink some liquor. Me I go take this a jug, or me I go do this a thing for escape. So my sis, me I go call my sis right now. We got you see that dirty boss? Them have to find the time to talk about that. But when it come to the mission now, them very, very silent, come up and suffer in the silence. And that now lead to so much more people quit because them have an excuse and them have something where drive them. And I think where them can go talk about. Can you realize most people like to talk? People we talk hours are complaining in a fire while them are suffer upon the mission where them are doing. And that is a thing where lead to the whole quitting vibes too, because after quitting, them have one bridging where them can go over there to go smoke with and say, oh, that mother FR, and them can complain about that person. Yeah, but them not acknowledge the fact, so are you really quit on the mission, and you did lead to the mission failing. So, you not acknowledge that. And you see, if you not acknowledge that, then guess what I go on now? It's going to continue because you might start a new job and think say everything good, and guess what now? You buck up in the same situation, you do the same thing, not realizing, say, you are the actual quitter. It's not like the situation too rough where you can't angle it. It's just that you program a particular way. You program for quit, and then after you quit, you go complain with the individuals them. And a lot of these individuals, and then if you stop support them dirty habit, because somebody come with some dirty habit, on the sister them a quitter, and you never look on them and say to them, say, you couldn't just stick it out or you couldn't find a little solution around that. No, you're engaging in the conversation, you're open at the mix up, you're open at the little reasoning where them reasoning that when I have enough of a valid point, and you support them individual behavior there. And because you support them individual behavior there, it's going to continue. And believe me, if one person now do that enough for you, just imagine how much spin off there after that. Just imagine if the person they were quit have a child. The child they're gonna see the quitter behavior all of the time and become a quitter themselves because them all look up to you.
So, all right. You just said it's a learned behavior. you just said it right there. It's a learned behavior. So it's learned in a couple of places. It's learned in the house. It's learned at school. And instead of putting in the effort in, first of all, what I've noticed personally, right? The next person has their experience, but this is my interpretation. I think one of the main topics we see is lack of accountability, right? There's no accountability for what they're responsible for, what they're responsible for knowing, and what they're responsible for doing. And when they can't do it now, I guess as a defense mechanism, there comes all the drama, the attitude, and try to deflect with what everyone else has done and what they're not doing, and you haven't acknowledged that you haven't done or you're incapable of doing what you're supposed to be doing. Another thing is a universal message that everyone should just apply and becoming like a master of your craft. I don't want to use master, that's too out there, but just becoming solid at your craft. I don't know, becoming, good at your craft. We have to like work on, first of all, we have to acknowledge that I'm not good at my craft. I can get better. And that's the thing that like people can't say. Like for some reason, people just can't say I need to get better. Yeah, it's so wild. Like I know everybody that's very good always can acknowledge, say you can identify, like I can easily identify areas that I need to improve and I work towards those. There are things I'm very good at. Those things are cool. If I learn something new and then I apply it, but the areas that are really struggling, those are areas I try to get better at, right? Because it makes the whole craft better. But you got to humble yourself, not beat yourself up or anything, not negative, but just say, there, I need to get better at this. But you mentioned something earlier, Fire, right? That I had to write down. I'm getting better at that, right? Right now, so I forget my thoughts. All right. Um, People not asking for help. So I don't know what part of the game where I don't know. I work with teens. I see it also, and another learned behavior that's very detrimental. I guess people feel they're stupid or they're less than, or I don't know, all these things going on in the sense that I want to get better at this. If this person is doing this and I clearly see that this person knows how to do it, I will ask the person. I don't see where the crime is that. You have to get, I ask people for help all the time, right? In all aspects of my life. I find out the people who know how to do it better. I'm fortunate enough, I'll get access to them. I ask her straight up, how do you do this? Or if I can't get direct access, I'll just look and look and look to see how they do that thing and try to mimic those behaviors and apply it to myself. And it's funny how life is universal because I'm pretty sure we spoke about this aspect in a different reason in regards to pirate and what people do. But you have to ask for help. Why would I sit there? Something simple. Say this mic don't work, right? I know you know how to work mics. What's wrong with calling this man saying I don't know how to figure out how to work the mic? Why am I like so? What's the issue with that? No, the mic don't work. F the mic. No, it's like ask someone who knows how to work them. What do
A
we?
man
It's too
give up. In the business, if the audio clear again, him just give up.
too much pride. I just pride. Too much pride and ignorance. Some people just got low off the pride fire and just like that's how we all develop. And all right, I'm gonna give you a great example. Let's use the gong, right? Bob Marley. As you know, Bob Marley was always around those who like were basically masters of their craft. And look at his band fight. He didn't bring no El Chaka Chaka person up there fight. These people top legends in themselves. So any man you've been around, they go to the best. And when you're around the best, you're gonna learn because remember, everybody in a different lane. So you're gonna learn something from them. You can apply it. I don't know, but I gotta ask for help, man. And sometimes you need to change up your social circle too, because we do have to acknowledge some people around people where they some people are in a social network where there is no one to help them. So at that time, you need to analyze and like you need to get around a new network of people. You need to be around people you can really learn from. Like really, you need to be around people you can learn from, and you need to take pride in your craft, regardless of what it is. Because remember, all these positions you don't have them forever. I think that's the people that they're not over in this in the sense that like, yo, if you got a BS job, you're not gonna have a job for the rest of your life. If you choose to, that's a personal problem, right? But you don't have to have the job for the rest of your life. But while you're there, you need to like hone certain skills so you can take it to the next place and learn new things. You sitting around. That's the thing, fight. I think the reason is about complaining, being complacent and complaining, right? Not being proactive. Cause me on the phone for 4 hours cursing this man, I could use that time. I'm not saying gonna work the whole 4 hours, but I used to at least an hour to work on my craft or do something to improve myself. What will help me long term? But do people want to get better? I know we say we want stuff, but do we really want them? And I think the actions show if you really want them. So that's the thing. Back to the accountability,
That's
But
straight
it's
facts.
just, and the reason I mentioned that the reason I mentioned overweight people, I shouldn't even use the term fat earlier. I apologize if anyone. Right, you can't call people fat no more, But I apologize. The overweight thing. I recently my brother sent something to me about Nabisco. I believe it's Nabisco, and they had an ad basically saying like no food was unhealthy. The only unhealthy food is food with like straight up poisons and toxins in them, right? And they had a lot of obese people, morbidly obese people saying this. And like this quiet quitters and this body acceptance thing is in the same vein, right? If you're 300-400 pounds, you're unhealthy. It is what it is, right? Now, if you got some weight on you, you may be healthy because you can have a little weight on you and still be healthy. But I don't, based on my research and my understanding about the body, I don't think you can be obese and healthy. I think once you reach that point, there's going to be some underlying health conditions that come from you having excess weight on you. Same thing with this, but it's a support system because the whole clothing industry caters towards them, not because they love them, not because they care about the health, because you're big and you're not going to lose weight anytime soon. So might as well we promote this image. I think with this quiet quitting thing, fire, it's just a network of mediocrity, and like it's just like some little club. Because like even as a nation now, like how the nation gonna develop when everybody doing a half-ass job? What they've been doing, by the way, because service has fire. Listen, after service has declined tremendously. First of all, most places don't have no employees in there, right? And the ones that they do, I don't know where they got these people from, because the service is not where it's at these days. Not to say customer service was great, but it was definitely better than what it is now. So if you can't provide basic services to people, what's the future of business in our country? If everybody's quiet, quitting and doing the bare minimum and sitting there and all this and this vibe. No, that's the real conversation we have to have. Like, what is the future of the country if no one's doing anything properly?
Fire. Say that is an important point. Here is an important point now for clarification because a lot of people hear this term, this term quitters are quitting and things say you just leave something. But say you can literally dip on a mission and still dip on a job or whatever you do. And you quit already, but you still carry it out.
For
So that's
decades.
exactly what they say right now, So it leads this thing because I say as a customer service person, as we say, I talk to you. Them just do it because but them quit the effort. Them quit the effort we're supposed to be exerted in this mission, Them quit the task, Them quit the mission, Just for example, me and mates, because a point that add towards the point I'm about to make. I want to tell them, say, whole heap of the musician them and whole heap of the artists, as we call them, are big quitters. Like majority of these artists are major quitters, and it's done very discreetly because watch these levels. Here's why I'm gonna say this: the artists, them majority of the artists, them will do like slack things and our songs where not really add up and make sense. Where you think about the context. A lot of them have better songs than them. Them have better songs than them. Songs are more well put together and songs where them want to truly from them heart and them soul. But them I tell you, say, this is not what the people them want here. So to me, that is a form of quitting because you quit the concept of putting out music where you think say would have changed the world, music where you think say would have impact the world in this way. But you say, no, people now gonna listen to this. So it's like you quit the whole mission of spreading the joy there just because you feel like say you go out of the game or you're not gonna dead if you have no form of fame. if you now push the particular propaganda or agenda your way already out in the air. So to me, right there, so if you come in with a mission, say you want to spread positivity and you don't spread the positivity because that's not the trend, I quit, you quit. At the same reasoning like the customer service fire. So it's like majority of people now overstand say, if you don't put your best foot forward and do the mission and carry out the mission like it's supposed to be carried out. I quit, you quit already, you're not even knowing, say it have to be something we're overt, but I find the majority of time when people quit, it discreet. And it's like, it's just a little statue of them. No, there are like a mannequin version of them now, just debut and I do this little thing. And that's the reason why we get so much like a petty results from all of these things. Because if the people them never had quit, would I get some better result. But the people them give up in themselves already. And then we are interact with them now. And I want to tell you enough of them things are contagious enough fire. Because you see, if you're amongst a bag of people who are quit, and a gear off the type of energy the way like you're not gonna really get for prosper to the best of your ability. It will reach you. It will reach and make you feel like you want to quit to because you're so weird. But it's a normal thing when it can normalize quitting no enough fire. You just start doing one little mission and the mission will go right and abort mission. Right? Toward that normalize and all 5, 6 of your bridging them go the road you start them thing then and you say, I don't know, and then make you quit the little job there, man. I don't know, even though the job I feed there, and the job never really go about, like it never violate your morality or it never violate your or disrespect your integrity, but you just say, just tell yourself, so, I feel offended by the one little thing there, so what you go on? I go quit it, 6 I'm bridging them quit what day, you say the system I fight with for sure. And I know it become the whole conspiracy now, the brain now start formulate itself now, until it become a reality for you because in the circle of the 6 hour, 6 hour they quit, and now you're a circle now, quitting become the norm. So the world over as you are say every single thing. You could see one example on all the news where can co-sign your behavior in a movie, where can co-sign your behavior, and guess what now? It's universal to you and quitting universal to your whole well-being now. Crazy.
All right, that's hilarious. He said abort a mission. All right, when you say abort a mission,
they're not gonna further fire them done. So it's not gonna enough for true as it want to seem like a joke or reality.
Yo, you know what's funny? Based on your social circle, and as you said, based on the amount of information that's on the internet, anything you find, anything you think you can find something to support it. You breed it. Right? So there, once you find a little piece there, you figure you're gone. Or if you're a Christian person, I guess God told you to do it, there go a sign, right? But another thing too, man, we have to talk about is that, and I don't want to scratch out the argument. That was funny. Let me say, abort the mission, abort the mission. Yo, the next thing too is that, man, like I think people don't believe things are supposed to have struggles and ups and downs. And I think people don't understand that you're gonna have times when you're turned off to something. You can justify quitting, like there's a lot of things that turn me off with the things I do. I could justify quitting, but at the same token, I think we have to understand or embrace the cycle of things, the ups and downs, the turnarounds. You yourself, some days, or weeks, you just turned off and you're not into it and all that. But I think that sometimes we let like the most minute thing, like anything that you dislike, we use that as a reason now to quit. And like I've experienced that fight. This is something I had to grow out of when I was older. So I was a prime suspect of this because you just feel like everything's supposed to be smooth. And the people that you're around, another thing too, when you're working around people, especially in the workplace, I've learned not to take things personal, bro, because a lot of things have nothing to do with you. And a lot of people are going through a lot of things, just like you go through a lot of things. The only thing with the workplace now, yeah, it may have an impact on certain aspects of it, but I want to internalize to it. If you really dislike it, you should be working on transitioning out of there. I see people who dislike something for 15 years. So it's like after a certain point, I don't think you can complain anymore because you had every opportunity to leave. So why are you still here? So it gets to a certain point where it's just like, you're not going to leave, right? You demonstrated you're not going to leave. So just stop complaining, bro. Yes, there are aspects you don't like, but you're not going to leave. So obviously it's not that bad. So just stop complaining. But we definitely have to just kind of, understand that like And I think it's a different mind frame experience because I know as you do more stuff, you understand that things are hard. Like, you'll be shocked. People see something simple as this as a podcast, how much work we had to put in, or how much ups and downs, or, other things. Like everything is just hard. Anything that's worth something is extremely hard. And too many times people haven't done anything on their own because a lot of things they've done within a established system. So you have to do one aspect of it, but you don't have the full responsibility, or you didn't put your own resources in, or you haven't developed it to yourself. But when you're doing things yourself, it's just hard. It is what it is. It's hard, and you learn that things are hard, and you accept it. He spoke about a mind frame earlier in regards to how to figure this out. Like, yes, we have these obstacles, but we are going to get through the obstacles, and we're going to figure out how to get through the obstacles compared to where the obstacles become just a deterrent. And it just turns you off because it's like, oh, I have an obstacle now, I'm gonna quit. But like fire, you can't go, you can't go. You're not going to travel no trip or go through the forest without an obstacle. And I think that's what it is. It's almost like people expect, like, all right, I come, and I've been doing this, and I'm deserving entitlement again. No accountability, entitlement, and just a false expectation of how things operate. And some people don't want to do it anyway. Then we have a lot of people that just don't want to work. Fire. Let's just put that out there. Like they want something for nothing. All right. They generally want to be paid every week, every 2 weeks, every month. They want their health care taken care of. They want vacation time, but they don't want to work. And that's just the reality of a lot of people. And it is what it is. Fire, I mentioned earlier about, your support group supporting you with foolishness. I think we mentioned toxic people, a reason in there. Make sure you check it out. But you gotta make a decision about the people you're around, fire. Like, like it's just no. Like you gotta really, you're an adult. You gotta make adult decisions and say, hey, the people I'm rolling with, we're not going nowhere. Like I need some new friends that just be by yourself. But a lot of people you have, humans are tricky, man. Humans are very tricky, complicated creatures, and you'll be shocked that the closest people you have want you to do the worst. Like it's pretty bugged out. Like people you spend time with all the time, they don't want anything good for you. It's very complicated and bugged out, but it's tricky. And like you got to open your eyes and see, like, if you're making certain decisions that's detrimental to you and your family and people supporting you, you got to hit the brakes. Say, now, if I ain't expect you to tell me that, I thought you to tell me something. I thought you expected to tell me something else. But in regards to the quiet quitting, when you analyze it, I think it's foolishness to tell you the truth. First, and I want to be clear. I hope I made it clear earlier. I don't think you should be giving your heart and soul to any company because they don't care about you. But at the same token, for your own well-being as a human being, you can't go around doing everything at a mediocre level. It will destroy and rot out your soul. I'm telling you, facts. And what's going to happen is other aspects of your life are going to get corrupted, and you're fully going to be a mediocre person. It's like you on, you off. I personally can't be mediocre. Like I just strive for excellence in every aspect of my life. It's just how you move and how you deal with things.
You see,
So
I say a lot. The last thing I want to mention is like, I know a lot of people come and get this whole put up this front. Oh yeah, we winning and all of this whole facade of them do on social media for pretend and cover up the bag of trauma what them I go through inside. I want the people them overstand this thing for you. First thing when you're up on a mission, like you're supposed to see yourself a win, right? I know it's hard for a lot of people see themselves a win, but the first thing I want them to see yourself a win. And then when you see yourself a win, get rid of the idealism, please. Because this idealism thing is like some superhero business. So get rid of the idealism, see yourself a win. And then next question you have to ask yourself, then, oh, my win. Oh, my win. Like when me want, what is my goal right now for in order for me win? You see me, I say, because you see, if you have winning in your mind, quitting is not an option for you. Because one thing, you can't, me never see a quitter win yet, because quitting and winning is like the opposite if you want to think about it. So where take for your win? Because if that's there, you say don't get heart and soul to a company. But then me I think say majority of people because them train for be so one dimensional. So me I try to show them for winning a one dimensional settings. If you have a job and you even give your heart and soul, because remember even police go undercover, so that's the thing. if you say I got undercover, then like I'm on a job, and you got give heart and soul to you. What is the mission where you plan to come out? You plan to come out with a three properties out of that now, out of the earnings where you get. You plan to come out with some particular funds where you can invest. Where you plan to get out of this thing for you? I know say if you're as simple as it seems, I not even have to bring it no further, because I'm gonna do that. But if you can vision yourself a win and know where you want to come out with fire, you think you have time to quit? And knowing say you will buck up on a 1 and 2 obstacle every day. Everybody go through that fire right now. Right now, the amount of obstacle I want to go through in my life, same way. Same way, and you not even know that fire, amount of obstacle. But one day you still have to do the mission same way, fire, like every single day, no much
Serious
obstacle.
thing of fire. People don't always like, I think because they see you doing stuff, they figure like, I don't get it, life is good, but they figure like you don't have no obstacles, and it's just like fire. It's just a challenge. It's a constant challenge, especially when you're doing so many things. There's so many moving pieces, so it's just such a high rate of things going awry and going wrong, but we have to deal with it. Some things you can figure out, some things just gotta run its course. But the thing is, it's just like I don't know, fire, but I hope people listen to what you say. You brought up a great point in regards to having a goal intertwined into the occupation more than just getting a salary. Like, what will I be getting out of this? You know, whether it's money for investment, money to reinvest in yourself, whatever it is. But the goal should not just be like some BS salary, bro. Because earned income is the worst income because it gets the highest hit on taxes. Can't go around that fire. So you're going to lose what, 35, 40 when you put in healthcare, 35, 40%. So you're getting what, 55 cents for every dollar you make, 65 cents for every dollar you make. That's not taking the financial freedom. So, you know, I trade my time, I get compensated. I need to do something with these earnings outside of just my basic things, you know. But I was about to say silent quitting, quiet quitting, another trending word. You know, hope people actually analyze what's going on. We give thanks for everyone who's been tuning from those times till now. Look out for the live stream because I believe we have episode 100 coming up soon, which we will celebrate. Make sure you support the Dread, our Autarchii EP, Disrupting the Status Quo, which is in the description. He has his music video there, Freedom for Africa, also in the description. Check us out every Sunday, I Never Knew Radio. I will be there, the ball head, spinning roots rock reggae music, Lovers Rock Foundation, and the whole vibes. And check us out on Conscious too. We are restacked. We have some new styles coming. We're working on a super dope shirt, Thomas and Kara. We have a shirt coming with John Henrik Clark. Those are the two that I know the artwork's being created for. And we'll have more stuff moving forward. So definitely, but the Nyahbinghi shirt is fully restocked. It is there again. People love this shirt. So we ran out back in stock. So we appreciate all the support. KONCIOUST.com. And the link is in the description. Give thanks.
Well, let me hear you say, man.